Did you know that over 40 million people each year search for answers to questions like, can gods die? Or did Shiva ever die? That's because the idea of death and divinity strikes a chord deep within us. It isn't just about mythology, it's about mortality, immortality, and what lies beyond. When we ask if Shiva died, we are really asking, can the source of all life be extinguished? This story is more than myth. It's a journey into loss, cosmic rage, and eternal love. The idea of Shiva dying begins with a heartbreaking story of Sati, the goddess who loved Shiva beyond comprehension. Sati wasn't just a consort, she was Shakti herself, the feminine energy of the cosmos. But when her father Daksha humiliated Shiva publicly by not inviting him to a sacred yajna, Sati, unable to bear the insult, threw herself into the sacrificial fire. In that moment, a part of Shiva, the compassionate, worldly, joyful husband, died with her. Shiva's reaction was not human rage, it was cosmic fury. He unleashed the Rudra Tandava, a dance so destructive that even the gods feared the end of creation itself. With Sati's charred body in his arms, Shiva danced across the cosmos. Every step shook the heavens. Every scream echoed across galaxies. This wasn't just grief, it was transcendental agony. And in this overwhelming pain, many believe that a part of Shiva did die, the part that was tethered to human emotion. To stop the destruction, Lord Vishnu intervened. With his Sudarshana chakra, he dissected Sati's body into 51 parts, which fell across the Indian subcontinent, forming the Shakti Peethas, holy sites of feminine energy. With each piece that left Shiva's arms, his rage dissolved slowly. The world was spared, but Shiva withdrew into silence, into the mountains, into stillness. Was this a death? Perhaps not in the body, but in purpose, in engagement, in worldly presence, yes. But Shiva did not remain in mourning forever. From the ashes of Sati's sacrifice, Parvati was born, an incarnation of Shakti meant to reunite with Shiva. Their union wasn't a sequel, it was a resurrection of the divine balance. When Parvati earned Shiva's love and respect through intense penance and devotion, Shiva opened himself again, not just to love, but to life. In this, we see a version of death reversed, not by power, but by patience and devotion. So, did Shiva die? In the literal sense, no. Shiva, as Mahadev, is described as Ajay, undefeated, Ajar, ageless, and Amar, immortal. Yet symbolically, he represents death itself, not as an end, but as a gateway to transformation. Every time you meditate, every time you let go of ego, fear, and attachment, a part of you dies. And Shiva, the destroyer of illusion, is born within you. His death becomes a metaphor for our own spiritual rebirth. Shiva is also called Mahakal, the Lord of Time and Death. He sits on funeral pyres, smears ash across his body, and dances in cemeteries. Why? Because he has transcended death. He isn't afraid of what ends, he honors it. In that sense, Shiva didn't die because Shiva is death. And death, as we're slowly beginning to understand, is not darkness. It's the most sacred passage back to light. Modern psychology tells us that grief rewires the brain. The loss of a loved one breaks us open. But often, from that brokenness, a deeper version of ourselves emerges. Shiva's story reflects this exact transformation. He didn't escape sorrow, he danced with it. He didn't avoid loss, he absorbed it until it shaped the rhythm of his cosmic dance. And maybe that's what we're all meant to learn. Our deepest wounds can become our greatest awakenings. The myth of Shiva's death isn't just a tale, it's a cosmic mirror. We see ourselves in Sati's sacrifice, in Shiva's pain, in the rebirth of purpose through Parvati, in the fierce acceptance of death as transformation. Shiva teaches us that to be truly alive, we must die again and again, not physically, but internally, to illusion, to ego, to everything temporary. And in that inner stillness, What remains is pure consciousness, unchanging, eternal, divine. So the next time you ask, did Shiva die? Pause. Instead, ask, what part of me is ready to end so something higher can begin? If this story moved you, helped you see death or pain in a new light, or simply brought you closer to understanding the great mystery of life, hit that like button, leave your reflection in the comments, and subscribe for more timeless spiritual insights. Because on this channel, we don't just tell stories, we awaken ancient truths.